You from New Jersey?
And I guess that will kind of get us into. I did want to. Well, we got a couple of big marijuana enthusiasts, aka potheads here. I want to go through some of like the epic marijuana kind of debates, and just get some quick hit thoughts on some of the like main pothead subjects that go down. All right, so we're gonna take you through like the whole getting high process, starting with blunts, bongs, or bowls. How do you go? What's your preferred method of getting stoned? Jordan, we'll start with you.
Well, I'm a pretty big bong guy. I've had a bong for most of my pot smoking career.
Okay.
That said, I
little hardcore to be taking bong hits all day long. I mean, be honest,
when I was in college, so I have a bong that lives at my parents' house that I've had I've had since like 1997. I guess. And I bought a bigger version of it that got confiscated when my brother and I got arrested by the Disney police at taking bong hits on top of the rooftop of their parking structure.
Classic.
And I have a letter from the Anaheim, from the Disney police to my dad saying that thank you for your inquiry as to the location of your water pipe. All drug paraphernalia turned over to the Anaheim Police Department. If you'd like to,
you want to reclaim your.
Yeah. Then in college,
Do you have that framed like right above said bong?
I had a 3.5 foot tall hand blown glass hookah with 4 tubes on it.
Okay, wow.
So I'd have company over to my apartment in Cali, and we'd take hookah hits and get fucking destroyed.
Nice.
Yeah, for real.
But I've always had a bong. Shit. The bong I have, this is the bong I have now. It's not that
nice
big.
footer, looking good. That's about what I. That's about what I have. How about you, Gordon? What's your preferred method of getting high? Blunt bong or bowl?
No, so neither. All right.
Oh, interesting. What are you staying with the apple all these years later? You're like, I haven't left the.
I don't even use weed anymore in it. I just smoke the apple.
Spliffs. I usually roll like a joint or a spliff.
Okay, I see. McSpliff McNiff, of course.
Exactly.
I should have known.
I go through about 3 of these a month. So I'll roll about 4 or 5 spliffs a day. And yeah, it's a little. My neighbors don't.
Hey, you don't look it.
My neighbors. I swear to God, my neighbor. Actually, my landlord called me and said my neighbor above me it's hard for
high.
her. It's hard for her. Yeah. Yeah.
He wants to borrow an apple.
Yeah, I was like, she owes me some fucking money.
Yeah, for real. Tell them to chip in on this if they're taking in the.
Shit, that's funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, I got to be honest.
I did a stand-up joke about that, and I did a joke about it, and then literally like weeks later, they called me, and they're like, yeah, someone's been smoking on weed ever since you just recently moved in. So, and then they kept calling. They called me like 5 more times. They're like, dude,
you get the point, folks. I smoke weed. Like, Jesus, take a hint here, for God's sake.
If you need some, I got a guy. I can
I'll
tell you.
So I started using the toilet paper thing with the fucking.
Nice.
But my superintendent was also like, dude, go in the shower and smoke it in the bathroom.
An age-old technique. Another age-old technique.
That's what happens when you don't have any mind. Hey, dude, that's what happens when you don't have any minorities living in your building. They come right to you.
Well, but now that he's legal, I'm pretty sure it's okay.
Yeah, now I'm sorry you don't like it, asshole, but how about you, Rich? What's your preferred method? Are we and actually, real quick, Gordon. Real quick, Gordon. When we say spliff, tobacco, yay or nay? Real quick.
Here, hold on. I'll show you real quick.
Okay, I see.
I will say I do roll as a pretty tight joint myself. I don't ever put tobacco in my. I smoke
American
cigarettes.
Spirit
I
tobacco.
put a little bit. I put a little bit of this, but sometimes I'll do it straight up.
I'm with Jordan. I go straight up, and I smoke a decent amount of joints, but More of a
I
bong
also
guy
do-
myself, I'd say. Actually, guys, I'm probably like equally, and I'll get to Rich, you to last real quick, but I'm probably equally amongst the three. You know what I mean? Bong hits all day is too much. I can't smoke spliffs all the time because my throat hurts. And bowls are like a good. I need to get high every couple hours, so I'll hit this. But how about you, Rich? What's your preferred?
All of the above and vape.
And the vapes.
And edibles, whatever.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna get into the
Whatever you
whole exotics conversation before about the wax, the shatter, because we can get into that. What are your guys' thoughts on? Do we have you
That's a
tried the
little too much
dabs,
like-
the wax? Is it
Nah.
too?
That's like
Yeah,
smoking
I've done a
Yeah.
dab. My friend does the dabs in California, and I'm like, this is like ridiculous. You're freebasing THC. There's no
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
literally set my dab rig on fire and set my fire alarms off, and that's when the only time that
Yeah.
all of my neighbors had a problem with me was when I literally set my dab rig on fire because those things flame up fucking instantly.
Holy
But
shit.
too
think
much
the
though. I'm with you,
dabs
dude.
are
I don't need
great.
to get that high. For fuck's sake, dude. Sorry, Gordon.
Yeah,
think
that's-
the first few times I did dabs, they got me super high. But then after a while, it was just like it was just it was similar to weed. It wasn't even.
Yeah.
I
they
can't
gave you
fuck
the same
around.
deal.
I ain't fucking around. I smoked crack for like 25 years. I ain't messing with that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
This is too
smoke
familiar.
weed out
I've,
of a- Dude,
the
I
most
smoked
crazy
weed out
thing,
of a
the
glass pipe.
hardest hitting thing for me has been that Pax Vaporizer. Do you guys know what that thing is? It's not like a traditional vape pen. It's like you put raw bud in there, and then it like heats the bud to the specific temperature just to heat the THC. And dude, it just fucking puts me to sleep. Like I hit that Pax G pen or whatever it is, vaporizer.
The dry vape.
The dry vape. And I'm just fucking like wake up 22 hours later in a fucking, in a haze of what, like I've been date raped or something.
I fainted a couple of times from vaping. Once was in a bar too, but a couple times.
Yeah. But I guess
Have you guys seen the the newest thing that I've seen? It's like an oxygen mask that like they put on you. If you're in the hospital and they put on like an oxygen mask or like
wow,
a
like
nebulizer,
a little up your nose
and
thing.
it sprays smoke into your face. So it's just like
Oh, that's old school,
kind of-
dude.
you waste a lot of weed. I
Yeah.
think. But it's like,
So this is just
Just
literally
simply
like
just
the
spray-
secondhand smoke. This is like literally the hotboxing your
we had
car
a-
syndrome. Like what the fuck?
We had an electric bong, and the electric bong had a fishbowl motor, like a motor for a fish tank, and it would just blow hits.
Yeah,
So you
what?
put a mask on, and it would blow
Sounds like
hits.
the most
into your
epic
mask.
thing ever.
That's
I had a-
1980, bro.
I got
Damn.
a friend in I got a friend in college.
I mean,
who
mass
had
produced. That's a Shark Tank idea for the No Genius in New Jersey boys right there. Now that
Yeah.
it's legal, let's get rich off of that fucking thing.
I had a friend in college who smoked out of a gravity bong, and
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
she actually continued to have a gravity bong all the way up until a couple of years ago when she got pregnant.
Wow.
So-
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
wait,
definitely like by the time I was 23, I had to retire my gravity bong. But
Is that one of the side effects?
He made a gravity bong.
Yeah.
He made a gravity bong with the those blue water dispensers.
yes, of
We
course.
took a saw.
Like
we took a
the
saw. We sawed off the
5-gallon
bottom of
drum
those,
things, 50
and we took a teapot. And we used the top of the teapot or the tea kettle to make it as a slide, the bowl, and we put it in the
Wow.
thing. We went to our friend's pool.
This is a pool,
While
right?
she
I was going to
she
say
was
this
gone
can only
on
take place in a
vacation.
pool, and you go
And we would
underneath.
swim underneath.
yep.
We would swim underneath and put our heads in there.
Yeah.
And like it was too big to take up the full head.
Yeah,
But
for
you
sure.
swim underneath and put your head in the fucking thing while it's full of smoke and
Yeah,
just
no.
breathe it in.
I've been at a party that had the similar thing going on. It's fucking
Probably,
that's
yeah.
epic. That's epic. That's like
Foley, everybody.
that's a crazy party way to smoke weed, which is great. That's not like my hey, how do you get high every day? Well, I set up my pool with the 5-gallon with the fucking 50-gallon drum, and it's awfully all right. So we've gotten high, and we've gone over our methods of getting high. But I guess as we're getting high, we got to listen to some music.
Water.
All
I gotta
right.
turn the pool heater on.
Yeah, seriously. Let me get I got to charge up my fish tank motor because. All right, But okay, so now we're getting
gonna go
high and
jump
we're
in the
putting
pool
on
and
some
take some
music.
bong
All right, we're all getting high to music. What is the ultimate weed smoking music? Or what is the ultimate music to smoke your weed to? I'll start off. I go with rap music. All right, it's maybe from my generation. I go Cypress Hill, Snoop Dogg, Chronic 2001, Method Man. Like that's my main weed smoking music. Other than that, maybe instrumental jazz. Some like weird fucking Jerry Garcia, Howard Werrell's Hooterole Plus kind of shit. But that's my like getting high kind of music. How about for you? This time we'll start with Gordon.
Oh, dude, I gotta give it up for the Chronic 2001. That was my go. I had that CD taken away from me like 4 times, and I'd always convince my mom to buy another one. Like the principal or whatever, so they'd be like, "What the fuck, your mom taking this?" And, but I love that shit. But
based on the lyrical content or the weed leaves all over the fucking cover in 1999.
I saw the weed leaf. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, this is legit."
Dude, the Chronic is the first CD that I ever owned. My mom bought it for me when I was in like 4th grade. She had obviously she had no idea what the fuck any was going on with any of it, but and she soon learned. But continue.
No, but I gotta say, as I've gotten older, I listen to rap way more than I listen to reggae, but sometimes I'll just like, if I'm sitting, I just gotta listen to some reggae, man.
Okay, I mean, hey, nothing wrong with that. You gotta. Now, are we talking, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh? Any new reggae? Or are we talking like?
Whatever, really. It's reggae. Is reggae.
It is weed smoking music, definitively.
Absolutely.
It's got an entire island high since the beginning of time. But how about for you, Rich? Do we have any, especially for you growing up in a generation earlier than me? What was your like high school weed smoking music? Okay,
Zeppelin.
Can't go wrong with Zeppelin for sure.
I'm a reggae guy also, and now that I got older, my wife's really into Slightly Stupid, Pepper.
Yeah, that's the new reggae. I was gonna say Slightly Stupid. They pressed their last album all on hemp, bro. Now that's a fucking reggae
saw
band.
him a couple times. Saw Pepper a few times. Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
Cypress Hill's great, fucking. But you're right, Zeppelin. You can't go wrong. Same thing with Pink Floyd. Can't go wrong. We'll get an eye. Jordan, how about for you? What's your go-to weed smoking music?
I don't know if I have any go-to weed smoking music. I feel like I can be in the whatever mood I'm in, and that's what I want to listen to. But I can get stoned to just about anything.
Yeah. I mean, true enough.
Like I'll put
Sublime.
Yeah,
Sublime is definitely up there. You gotta I think you have to smoke weed when Sublime comes on.
Reggae is always good. I love me some Jimmy Cliff.
Okay, of course.
I remember
Jimmy Cliff is the man. You don't know Jimmy Cliff?
Yeah, no, of course. Great movie. Harder They Come, Harder They Fall.
The Harder They Come is a fucking crazy movie, but that's a great movie. Sure. Soundtrack is great.
I remember for my 13th birthday, I was like, Sublime was just becoming big, and I was like, Mom, can I go to a Sublime? Can we do a Sublime concert for my 13th or 14th birthday? I didn't know that Bradley was dead, and she's like, "Yeah."
I hadn't heard the news though.
And I told all my friends, like, "Yo, we're gonna do a Sublime concert for my birthday." And my friends everyone's like, "Sick!" And one of my buddies like, "Dude, he died like when we were fucking."
You know the fat guy is the lead singer now. Like I don't know if it's gonna work out too well with. Yeah, now they've got Rome the last couple years, and I've seen Sublime. I saw Sublime on a boat. Like a couple years ago, I think they do an annual. I guess have you ever done a Rocks Off cruise in Manhattan? They do a little boat that goes around Manhattan and fucking they do concerts on them. But there's the Sublime with Rome is like a yearly staple on the Rocks Off booze cruise. But Sublime classic weed smoking music for sure. So then we've gotten high listening to music. We're fucking passing around our spliffs, our bongs, our fucking we're taking gravity fucking cannonballs. But now it's time to watch a movie. What is the ultimate stoner movie for you guys? We'll start with Jordan.
Oh man, there are so many good ones. The ultimate one for me, I mean, the one that I watched over and over again, probably that I've seen the most because it came out when I was getting stoned a lot in the beginning, was easily Half Baked.
Okay, nice. That's what I was going to go with actually as well.
That's the first. That's the first stoner movie that spoke to me as a stoner. As a New York stoner.
Yeah.
It's like I'd seen Cheech and Chong and Up in Smoke, all that stuff, but that was so much before my time, and those movies didn't speak to me as a stoner yet. Like that wasn't my experience.
No, for sure. That was
The New
also
York-
great because it was like, even we were talking about it before, but like a little mini advocacy thing going on with just all these big names and familiar faces coming out, and like Jon Stewart smoking weed in a movie, fucking Snoop Dogg. I mean, obviously Snoop Dogg, but like, all these other people, and even Chappelle as a crazy big emerging comic at the time, making a whole movie about how he smokes weed. It was like really, brought a lot of enlightenment
and also
to the whole
showing
thing.
all the different New York demographics of people who are smoking weed. The high schooler and his father, the grandmother for the glaucoma, the woman, the nurse that's helping her. Like everybody on the chain has.
It turns out Stephen Baldwin gets high.
Sober.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
Smoking.
All he
How about
needs
you,
is
Gordon? We
snorkel.
have a big.
All he needs
Sorry.
is an avocado, a screwdriver, and a snorkel.
That's all it takes. How about for you, Gordon? We got any go-to stoner movies?
I would say so. I mean, I gotta say, Half Baked. I probably saw that. My older sister was watching it when I don't know the year it came out, and I was born in '89. So I don't know. I was super young, and I saw it in the VHS, and I watched it a few times, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is hilarious!" But
you saw it before you started smoking, though.
Yeah.
Okay,
By the way, I
interesting.
don't know if you know this fun fact. At the very end of the movie, after all the credits, there's a big scene where all them are sitting on the couch, and they're like, "Hey, by the way, don't do drugs."
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
I've never stayed tuned.
But I gotta say that I really like when I really started smoking a lot of weed when I was in probably sophomore year. I was watching The Yellow Submarine and Pink Floyd The Wall.
Okay, nice.
All right.
That was on my list. I was
and I was really into that kind of music, and I would just we had a lot of time when we were just hanging out and stuff. And we would just always have it looping. So I mean,
yeah, for sure.
I gotta say those movies were great.
Yeah, no doubt. Did you do the
I remember
classic?
watching a lot though when I was in college. When I was first getting stoned, the stuff that we watched all the time was like World's Wildest Police Videos.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's always on during the daytime when I happen to be getting high. It's
I'm
funny how that happens.
John Bonnell.
But Gordon, did you ever do the classic Pink Floyd and the Wizard of Oz mashup? Did you ever try to get that done? Because I've tried, and let me get your take.
My friend's brother had a tape that had a VHS tape that was matched up, and
it was pre-matched up.
I watched it. It wasn't that on point.
I don't care how high you are. It didn't fucking match up for me.
It wasn't that spot on. I saw it. I was like. Not that good.
Maybe if you're on hallucinogenics, it would work out better. I think those things are truly made for hallucinogenics, not marijuana necessarily. You know what I mean? But definitely, I've tried and failed the whole Pink Floyd wall thing, but always willing to give it another shot if you ever want to hang out on a random afternoon, because why not listen to Pink Floyd while the Wizard of Oz is on in the background while I'm smoking weed? It sounds like three things.
Well, the wall, the movie. That thing is like 3
I'm sorry,
hours,
Dark Side
3.5
and the
hours
I'm sorry, Dark Side and Wizard of Oz. But Rich, how about for you? Do you have a big stoner movie that stands out above all else?
Yeah.
Do we?
A couple of Kentucky Fried Movies.
Great one.
Oh, that's a great movie.
We
I
used
love
to
Kentucky Fried
watch that. Pineapple Express was a good one.
Oh, yeah.
All the Cheech and Chong movies. I grew up then, so I used to watch all those. Those were fucking
and those really are
amazing.
classic, and they really even do hold up. Like every year, I'll end up around 420, but those movies still hold up. Like I say, stand the test of time. The Cheech and Chong movies.
Rocky Horror, big time. Love Rocky Horror.
Like smoking joints in the theater while it's going on.
Kentucky Fried Movie is the first movie made by the Zucker brothers, the guys that made The Naked Gun. And it's
hilarious.
Oh, wow, I didn't even
comedy
realize
sketches
that.
put together. Oh, it's so great.
Yeah, Kentucky Fried
Movie
Movie is classic.
Also?
You also get to see lots of tits, which is always a plus.
We
Some
used to-
80s
we used to
style
get-
movie tits.
We used to watch Willy
has been
Wonka.
pissed in film at 11.
Yeah, we used to watch a lot of. We get high and watch Willy Wonka. A bunch of us.
Okay, super psychedelic, of course. Yes. For me, probably my go-to weed smoking movie. I alluded to it earlier. Probably Friday. All right, Smokey, Chris Tucker getting high all day. And then as well, lots of cartoons and just random Animaniacs and random just shit like that. Cartoons that were on. But okay, so
Oh,
now
that's
we've
fucking
listened to
fun.
music while we're getting high. We've watched a movie.
Oh,
Now I got the
the Princess
munchies. I'm
Bride,
fucking
too.
starving. Princess Bride's a good one, of course. But now I'm starving, and it's time for our ultimate stoner food. All right, what are we going with, Rich? I'll start with you. You're fucking stoned. You got the munchies. You can have anything in the world. What are you eating?
I'm a pizza or cheeseburger guy, man. You know, like absolutely White Castles, something. If it's anything I can have, yeah.
Yeah, White Castles is always a good call for sure. And real stoner food, you get to eat like 15 of them, which just feels great when you're high. You got a whole fucking stack of them.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
a big solid burger is intimidating, but 15 small ones I can fucking.
Absolutely.
Gordon, how about you? What's your stoner food of choice? You're all high. What are we eating?
I'm like a go-to sour belts or sour straws or sour
Yes.
pack. You know,
Sour
chips.
candy, just sugary, sweet
Sour
candy, soury shit,
Yeah.
gummy. Your teeth are all fucked up, just
Yeah.
caked with shit.
You know, my teeth hurt.
The next 36 hours, every sip of water you taste is like a raspberry watermelon fucking heaven combo. But all right, been there before. Been there before.
I like that, or like also wings or anything like. I'm a sucker for wings too.
Yeah.
When I'm high, I gotta go boneless though. All right,
Oh, yeah.
I don't like eating around the gross bones when I'm all stoned. That's a drunk thing. When I'm high, I go boneless. Of course, drunk you go bone in. But Jordan, how about you? What's your go-to? You're a New York City guy. Are we going to the deli? Me and you hanging at Katz's or fucking?
Well, a Katz's sandwich, sometimes that's a little like I don't like to have a sandwich like that when I'm too stoned. Like that's its own experience.
Good call. It's a food high on its own.
It depends on where I'm at and what I'm in the mood for. I love tacos. I love not just wings but like fried chicken. Get some fried chicken or fried chicken sandwich. Like one of my only real fast food weaknesses is the original chicken sandwich at Burger King.
Okay, an OG original. Wow. Out of all of the chicken sandwiches people talk about, I haven't heard of the one on the hero
sandwich.
roll, the 6-inch fucking thin style roll, of course, right? Do they still do that or?
It's the same. Yeah, it's been the
Okay,
same forever.
perfect.
The original chicken sandwich. Listen, I know that. Listen, I do think that the Popeyes sandwich is better. I think
I was
that
gonna say.
chicken at Chick-fil-A is better. For some reason, the chicken sandwich at Burger King, I crave it. It's like I just have that. It has more of that nostalgic taste.
Yeah.
Got crack in it.
No. This right here is crack.
Oh, that's the Chick-fil-A card?
Chick-fil-A.
What is that, your
Chick-fil-A
frequent
sauce.
customer card or what?
No, it's the sauce.
Oh, that's the dipping sauce. Okay, I see.
See,
See,
there are
I didn't
other
grow up with
traditions that I
Chick-fil-A.
have
There
that
was
I'm able
only
to
one
suppress.
Chick-fil-A, and it was at the mall when I grew up. There was no, franchise locations in Jersey around. So, and, fast food is the ultimate stoner food, especially when you're in high school. That's just what I did as a high schooler. You'd get high and then hang out at a fucking fast food restaurant for a couple hours. But, so there were no Chick-fil-A's.
I love like the McDonald's chicken McNuggets, but you buy a box of 20 and by the third one you're like, I have made a huge mistake. What have I done?
So, one of my favorite fast food places to go, still to this day, my friend who lives in the city, he has a car, and every now and then he'll be like, dude, let's get super high and go to Pita Pit. I love this place.
Pita
It's a new
Pit.
place. And we drive all the way to New Jersey out of Manhattan, and it's like a big thing, and it takes us forever, but it's so worth it. We
And
go
then
to
what's pita?
Pit.
It's like a fast food falafel spot,
Dude,
or
it's so good. Yeah, I got a bacon cheeseburger pita. And it's like they just
Oh,
wrap
wow.
it,
Okay, I
and
see.
then they douse it in sauce.
so it's not
You can
falafel. They got
probably
like
get
fucking
that in the
regular
city.
shit, and they put them on.
You can't get it anywhere except Jersey. There's like one spot in
Nice.
Jersey that we go to,
Fuck
and it's
yeah.
takes us 40 minutes, but we go.
For me, I go. I'm still like an ice cream or cereal, like stereotypical hack. Get stoned and eat sugary cereal, Count Chocula, Fruity Pebbles, fucking
Nice.
Cap'n Crunch, anything like that. When I'm all stoned, is really if it's before 10 p.m. ice cream, after before 10 p.m. cereal, after ice cream. As well, I do a fried peanut butter and jelly sandwich. okay, or a fried fluffernutter, and then sometimes I put strawberries in it. Okay, so you get peanut butter and fluff. You put strawberries, butter each side, put it in the frying pan. I call it the Willie Nelson, all right? The redheaded bastard, the redheaded stranger.
Wait, say that one more time.
Yeah, take notes. Everybody out there, if you're listening, get your pencils, your pen.
Get your pen.
You get your 2 bread, 2 slices, one side peanut butter, the other side fluff. Okay, in the middle, cut up strawberries. You make a sandwich. You butter each outside piece of bread like a grilled cheese sandwich. Then you throw it in a frying pan for a minute on each side. So it toasts up, and then it's a gooey, marshmallowy, strawberry middle, and it's called the Fried Willie Nelson sandwich, and it's a pothead classic for you out there. Happy 420 to the folks out there.
If you're in jail, you can make it on an iron.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, if you've got heat in your apartment, you can get this one done. All right, we can. But so now we've cured our munchies. We fucking watched a movie. We've listened to some music. We've gotten high. Who I guess for the last of our weed debates here, do we have your all-time weed icon, your go-to pothead that you think of? Maybe
Cheech and Chong.
Cheech and Chong are your just regular go-to. I'll start off with you for very similar. Mine is the Cheech and Chong of my generation, which is Snoop Dogg. But he was the guy that was on fucking TV talking about smoking weed and just the most mainstream pothead, but also just a quintessential laid back, fucking cool as a cucumber style pothead. So for me, he's the definitive weed smoker of my generation, and I'd say Cheech, and I'd say he's the Cheech and Chong of the 90s. But you can't go wrong with the classics, Snoop or Cheech, or Chong, of course. Don't want to leave Tommy Chong there.
I would debate Chappelle as that for
great.
That.
Yep.
Around that same
Robert Mitchum.
Robert Mitchum.
The old actor, Robert Mitchum.
Yeah.
He went to jail in, I think, the 50s or 60s for smoking weed.
Okay, wow. It was one of those fucking, and I'm sure that was a conspiracy against him for some other sort of shit, because the weed was just used as a tool of, a tool to arrest people that they're trying to persecute for other kind of shit. But so that's a good call, Bobby Mitchum. But Chappelle is a great call, though, Jordan. Again, kind of like I was saying with Half Baked, just making a whole movie, just being a very public marijuana smoker and whatnot, and just as well as great Have you ever smoked with Chappelle, Jordan? I was going to ask, because I've seen Chappelle smoke a lot when I worked at the old Comedy Village. He would be smoking. I worked on Sundays. He'd always show up smoking outside, and I always wanted to just be that fucking idiot from Jersey that just asked him to fucking hit that just so I could forevermore say I smoked with Chappelle. But I'm sure you've seen Chappelle smoking around the West Village.
Yeah, I mean, listen, my first time ever meeting Chappelle was at a show in the East Village at this little tiny bar that was mostly on Friday, whatever night the show was. Afterwards, a DJ came in and they had incense everywhere, and people actually smoked weed in this club.
Okay, nice.
So Chappelle got to this place early, and he started he was closing out the show. He and Neil Brennan were both came to do the show. I had just done a show at Madison Square Garden in their Comedy Garden 2 nights before, and then I died horribly on this show.
It's a good up and down there for you.
Oh yeah, but so I wouldn't say that I smoked with him, but I was in the room while he was smoking, and everyone was.
You were both in the same smoky nightclub, all getting high.
Yeah,
nice.
There's that.
You breathe the same smoke.
Yeah,
seriously. Close enough for me, anyway. Fucking you gotta. But he's a great call as a weed icon, though.
I smoked with I think one of the icons for me was Bob Marley. He made it he was the peaceful hey, why would you want to
yeah.
this?
I mean, putting on the Songs for Freedom concert, which ironically was on 420, but uniting the country of Jamaica. Jamaica was at a civil war, and Bob Marley fucking got the fucking 2 rivaling fucking drug cartel, controlled political opponents to unite for this epic concert that happened to be on April 20th, and the Songs of Freedom concert to be celebrated as its own holiday. But
Well, so speaking of smoking with people, I smoked with Whalers when they were doing a concert in the beach. Yeah, well, not Bob Marley, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
The Whalers,
who are still too. I've seen them a million times.
Time.
The Whalers, they're still out there, fucking.
Yeah, they were waiting. It was their bus. Their bus was like right next to this venue, and it was like 4:00 in the afternoon, and they were doing a show that night. And I think they had just got there or something. And they're all standing outside between the bus and the building, and they weren't like out front. It was on like the back of this venue, and we were walking by, and we had a joint. I was like, dude. And we were like, dude, this is the Whalers. And we're like, yeah, you guys are the Whalers, right? We're like, yeah. We just smoked them real quick. We're like, this is the best weed on the island. We were at Dewey Beach. Pretty sure.
Anybody got an apple?
Nice. Yeah, right.
An apple?
You guys happen to have an apple, man? I got an apple, man.
Yeah, man, I got a banana. I have a banana.
There's a pineapple, man. Even more high.
Hey.
Oh, that's epic, though. That is like as classic of a weed of somebody to be in a weed cipher with as anybody. One of the fucking Whalers,
Yeah.
But that's pretty bad. And Bob Marley is, I'd say Bob Marley and Willie Nelson are probably two of the other all-time icons. Bob Marley is as well just associated with the whole Rasta culture and being Jamaican, where it's like such a part of their culture. Obviously helps him. Where with Willie there was a little bit of like the stigma, especially doing it in like Texas where he's from, that still hasn't legalized it. But other kind of more recent guys you can look to. But other Texan, Matthew McConaughey, big weed advocate. Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. Yeah.
Woody Harrelson for sure. He was like one of my early introductions to him was in like the early 90s. He did David Letterman and he was wearing hemp pants and was like talking about that. And I didn't quite know who he was nor like understand what hemp pants were, but it stuck with me forever. This fucking idiot showed up on Letterman wearing weed pants. Like, so he's a classic. More recent stoners.
Joe Rogan.
Oh, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan for sure. I was also going to say Doug Benson. How about Jim Brewer? All classic, more modern. Seth Rogen.
Joey Diaz.
Joey Diaz, a Jersey guy, of course. But that's like your next generation of potheads. But I guess for us,
David Phelps.
What's up?
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps. Yes.
Good
call.
Was it Pete Davidson was for a while? I don't know if he still does, but they had an article on him in High Times. That's as fucking stoner as you can get.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that is definitely.
Leonardo DiCaprio, big guy he was like on the cover of High Times. I thought
Leo was.
Yeah.
Probably.
Wow, interesting.
He's a weed guy.
Okay, nice.
For him.
Well, I mean, everybody smokes it. Doctors smoke it. Lawyers smoke it. I forget who else Brad Knoll claims smoked it, but all of us smoke it, and I've had so much fun virtually smoking with you guys. Yes. And it's legal to smoke it for all of you guys to smoke it too out there, the New York and New Jersey residents. But my weed is all done here, my joint's out, and I got to go to the other room to pack a bowl. So I'm gonna put an end to this podcast here.
Go back to Jersey, you moron!